From the moment Princess Catherine's gloved hand shattered a whiskey bottle against the steel hull of HMS Glasgow, something shifted within the monarchy's carefully choreographed world. What should have been a straightforward naval ceremony on May 22 became a declaration of restored strength, a signal that Catherine, fresh from her private battle with cancer, had re-entered public life not as a spectator, but as a strategist. Standing tall in a navy and white Susanna London coat dress, and a Philip Tracy hat first seen at Trooping the Colour, she embodied resilience. But as cameras captured her composed smile, her return concealed a far more complex drama unfolding behind palace walls. Just hours earlier, Prince William had slipped quietly into Leath, Edinburgh's gritty port district. There, amid warehouses and weathered docks, he traded ceremonial pomp for purpose. He met with former rough sleepers turned football coaches, addiction recovery volunteers and community leaders spearheading the Leath United Coalition, a partnership funded by the Royal Foundation. He listened intently as they described how football sessions double as safe spaces for mental health support, job training and peer mentoring. His questions, according to local organizers, cut straight to the heart of sustainability. How do we measure success? What happens 6 months from now? Who keeps this going when we leave? This was no photo opportunity. It was reconnaissance for a new era of royal engagement, one built on measurable impact rather than fleeting optics. In Glasgow, the naval ceremony could not have been more traditional. Princess Catherine, named sponsor of HMS Glasgow in 2021, presiding over the naming with whiskey and wit, Prince William inspecting apprentices at the shipyard, naval officers in dress uniforms saluting the couple. Yet every detail was carefully woven into a larger narrative. Catherine's choice of jewelry, the Robinson Pelham diamond drops designed by her parents, echoed the Cartier halo tiara she wore on her wedding day, symbolizing continuity and inheritance. Her embrace with Holocaust survivor Stephen Frank at a subsequent garden party in London erased Meghan Markle's 2022 claim that the Waleses aren't huggers, proving in an instant that empathy remains at the Crown's core. Behind these scenes, however, a quieter struggle for the monarchy's future was playing out. King Charles, recently treated for cancer, is balancing his duties with private health battles. His return to public life earlier this year was cautious. A handful of select events, a brief hospitalization in early 2025 for treatment side effects, and a rare comment to a student that a well-planned diet and rest has helped in his recovery. Still, the uncertainty surrounding his prognosis has accelerated internal discussions about succession and structure. Palace insiders speak of contingency protocols, once deemed theoretical now being drafted by William's advisors, as if preparing for an imminent and irrevocable transition. At the heart of this shift is Prince William himself. Once the shadowed heir, he has emerged as a working architect of royal reform. In private briefings with senior courtiers, he has argued that the monarchy must evolve from symbolism to social infrastructure. His vision, a streamlined working family, clear portfolios tied to measurable public service, and an end to smile and wave engagements that leave no lasting footprint. His approach in Leath crystallizes this philosophy: no dais, no ribbon cutting, just engagement with grassroots leaders and a commitment to return with results. Meanwhile, whispers about Queen Camilla's expanding role have reached a crescendo. In Ottawa, she will be sworn into the Canadian Privy Council during the upcoming state visit, her 6th to Canada, even as she prepares to cement her legitimacy abroad. To Charles, Camilla is a steadfast partner in both duty and adversity. To William, she represents a legacy baggage that his generation is determined to transcend. Though he publicly honors his stepmother's contributions, private aides acknowledge an undercurrent of discomfort, a fear that Camilla's visibility undercuts the narrative of a modernized monarchy led by the younger generation. Complicating the picture further is Prince Harry, now exiled in California and forging a separate life with Meghan Markle. Earlier this month, Harry and Meghan hosted Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz at their Montecito home, a move interpreted by royal observers as a bid to maintain relevance among Britain's celebrity elite. Meanwhile, David Beckham appeared at Canada House alongside King Charles, sharing a light-hearted moment captured on camera. "You got it, didn't you?" the King asked, referencing an undisclosed gift. Beckham nodded, smiling broadly. The exchange went viral. For Harry, once the King's closest confidant, the image likely stung. While one former friend was welcomed into the fold, another remained locked out. This visual dissonance underscores a broader realignment. On one side stands Harry, fighting for a place in a world that increasingly rejects duality, titles without duties, permanence without presence. On the other stands William, championing accountability, titles earned through service, roles defined by impact. Discussions, once hushed, are now frank. Could Harry and Meghan lose their ducal statuses entirely? Could Archie and Lilibet be stripped of their Her Royal Highness styles? Though unprecedented, such moves are being weighed amid concerns that public trust in the monarchy hinges on clear distinctions between working royals and private individuals. King Charles remains the fulcrum. As sovereign and father, he is torn between institutional necessity and paternal loyalty. Sources describe his heartache at the rift with Harry, tempered by the stern reality, the crown's survival may demand difficult choices. His recent conversations with William have grown more candid, focused not just on royal engagements, but on legal frameworks, funding models, and even the constitutional parameters of future titles. Charles's courtroom experience in charitable law, long overshadowed by his environmental advocacy, has now become critical as he seeks to preserve the monarchy's integrity while safeguarding his family's future. Public sentiment is shifting beneath their feet. A YouGov poll in April 2025 showed only 48% of Britons under 40 support the monarchy as is, while 30% favor scaling it back, and 22% lean toward a republic. Yet 67% still express confidence in Prince William's ability to modernize the institution. Catherine's approval ratings have climbed to 63%, a reflection of her humanizing embraces and unwavering composure. These numbers tell a story. The monarchy's future depends less on ancient ritual and more on relevance, empathy, and measured reform. As HMS Glasgow sails into service, it carries more than anti-submarine capabilities. It carries the hopes of a crown at a crossroads, tested by scandal, strained by generational shifts, and pressured by a sovereign whose lifespan now dictates the tempo of change. Catherine's return to the public eye signals not just recovery, but renewal. William's quiet power play in Leath reveals a blueprint for a leaner, impact-driven monarchy. And Charles, navigating cancer and family crisis, holds onto the delicate balance between tradition and transformation. The coming weeks will test the resilience of their strategy. Canada beckons, a state visit heavy with symbolism and, likely, private reckonings. Will Charles and Camilla's legacies be reaffirmed on Canadian soil? Will William's blueprint for reform be unveiled in new partnerships and policy commitments? And will Harry find a path back through dialogue, or remain an outsider watching the crown's evolution from afar? In our next segment, we'll investigate the confidential plans being drafted at Sandringham and Balmoral, documents said to outline a radical redefinition of royal roles, funding, and titles, ready to be enacted the moment the king's health demands it. The future of the crown is in motion, and its course may be set by decisions already inked in golden precincts of power.